I'm out at L&R Poultry and Produce today in Kenyon, Minnesota to learn how to tap a maple tree. Let's go see how it's done.
Try to look for these big roots going into the ground because that's where most of the flow is. Now sometimes, like this year and last year, the snow was so darn deep, it's really hard. But if you can, that's what you try to do. So there'd be, and then you also need to rotate around the tree. So this year, this is where I had tapped last year. You want to go, now usually you don't want to go any higher than say chest height and probably no lower than about hip height.
Okay.
And you want to go slightly up because the sap is coming this way and then we want it to fall out. So if you notice, if you look at this spile here, all my spiles are slightly angled down.
Mm-hmm.
And then you want to go in about 1.5 inches. So on this drill, we're going to want to go to about here.
Okay.
That's another reason why I like these bits. They're about the right length. So I'll just start it, and I'll let you finish it. So you just kind of go in. You want to push firmly. And it takes a little bit to bite.
Right.
And then if you back out, you'll take your stuff out. So I'm going to let you continue there.
Okay.
So go ahead.
All right.
Yeah, so just go in the other direction.
All right.
See, you've hit the wet. Now you know you're in a hole that's dripping. And yeah, just kind of slowly pull back and spin that out, and that'll clean most of that out of there for you.
Ah, I see.
Okay, and then what I do, just you can take this and just kind of clean that off, and then you can, ooh, you really generated some heat there. She's got horsepower. And you can just kind of clean out some of the around the edge. If I'll let you do that. See, it's running.
Okay.
And then,
oh yeah,
this is my favorite. I like a small hammer like this rather than a big one. Yeah, you got a good hole there.
All right.
Okay, and then the sap is going to come up and flow in this hole and out here. So this way goes up because this is where the hanger piece is.
Right.
So you're just going to fit that in so it's upright. And then I tap it in with the side of the hammer till it's into about there. So you go ahead and do that.
Trade ya. So right to about there, a little bit more.
Maybe one more. And then it should start to build up a little pressure, and then it should start to, we'll see a drip come out of there.
There it is. All right.
So we'll get a little bit of sawdust at first, and then it should just clean itself right out. Yeah.
Cool.
There you go. Successful tap.
Yeah.
Start to get going about this time of day. The heaviest dripping is like from about 1 until maybe 10 at night.
Okay.
So I'll demonstrate with this one.
Okay.
So here you can see it dripping.
Yep.
And this hangs on this hole. So what you're going to do is you're going to grab a hold of this handle and lift up and pull out. And then grab
by the corner.
And then you want to lower this in and then just pour it into the pail.
Now how long have you been doing this?
Since we moved here. We bought the farm in 1995.
Wow.
And we just did 5 trees that year, 5 taps. And we did it on just a little single burner propane cook stove.
Okay.
And I guess it just kind of went from there.
Very cool.
Now the problem is people know about you, and so it's one of those products you don't have to advertise too hard. People sniff you out.
Yeah.
So.
And the sugar content changes from year to year?
Yeah, it does. And it also changes throughout the season.
Okay.
For example, in the beginning, I don't know why, again, I don't have the scientific explanation, but the early sap has a higher sugar content. And then as it gets closer to the trees forming buds, now this is a young maple, and it really, the bud is there, but it hasn't really started to look like it's going to open. But when they get to the point where they look like they're going to open, then the sugar content goes way down and it turns a gold color. And somewhere in there you have to just kind of decide what it tastes like to you. It begins to take on, to me, more of a flavor like apple juice. and then eventually it gets kind of vinegary or buddy, they call it, and then it's time to stop. The tree will keep on running, probably until early May. But once the buds open and the leaves start to form, the nature of the sap is different, and it just isn't the right quality for cooking. So that's what we have. So at the end of the season, because the sugar content has gone down a little bit, we have to boil more, and so you get more caramelization, and that makes a darker syrup. And then also the color of the sap in the beginning is just as clear as water, but it will start to take on a slight yellow color as it gets later and later in the season, and so that makes a darker syrup. So that's why the early season is that grade A light, and then you get the grade A medium, the grade A dark, and then finally the grade B.